Hello, hello. It's me, the MetaVerse Explorer. I'm here to update you on what's happening in Star Atlas so that you can always stay up to date. Thank you very much. So, we have a small announcement from the Star Atlas team. This is really actually significant, I think, because the community has been wanting this for a while, okay? They must have had their reasons for continuing. Let's read what they're saying here. They're saying intergalactic community announcement. Due to the upcoming product release schedule, ship drops from all Star Atlas manufacturers are currently paused and will resume later this year. The existing fleet stock will remain flight ready on the galactic marketplace. Now, what does that mean? That means they're not going to be releasing ships soon, but maybe in the end of the year, they will be getting some more ships coming. We knew there was a new ship that was coming. We were unknown what kind of ship it was. But guys, people were asking for this for ages because we can see what was happening in the market. There was a giant influx of ships that were still being released throughout the entire year and even next year. Like they said, like over 50, 60, 70 ships, something like that. But unfortunately, market dynamics don't like this. It's a supply and demand, right? There was so much supply of ships coming onto the market that there wasn't that much demand for them because one, there's nothing to play with your ships. You know, there's no game to play, okay? There's also a bear market at the moment where people don't have free funds to purchase $30,000 ships. Let's have a look at this. The PSD9, I think when I last looked, no one had bought this ship. This is a $30,000 ship, okay? It's a repair ship, and there's 460 of them, but no one had actually bought this ship. So I think they're waiting for the next 4 to 6 to come because they're saying due to the upcoming product release schedule. Okay, let's actually have a look at that because we can see here from the roadmap created by Sensei Yamura over at Aephian. Shout out to him. We have some roadmap stuffs that are coming. Okay, so they're probably going to time it with this roadmap with this product releases, which is going to be the next 4 to 6, which is probably like an Epic's game launcher or some kind of partnership that they said. Okay. Let's have a look at what's actually coming next. So we have the Atlas staking in Q3 2022, which we saw in the roadmap before. There was a small bug, and now they say they're trying to fix that bug, okay? And then this is the showroom. This is release 1 of the showroom. This is where I think we'll get some of the new ships being released that they were saying, okay? Hopefully, we'll be able to move around with our PSX4, hopefully. So you should be looking to get a PSX4, actually. We know that PSX4 is at least one ship that will be able to move in the showroom. And then, of course, we have the graphic novel, which is still coming. On top of that, we have the quarter 4, which is a showroom release 2. I don't actually think this will make it in quarter 4. Being honest, like quarter 3 is like already here. We're nearly at quarter 4. Showroom with the flight module and multiplayer. I don't think we'll get it this year. So we'll probably get more ship releases then as it comes. And then the podcast, of course, is going to come. Doesn't affect gameplay at all. And then we have Scream, which is also in quarter 4. Hopefully we'll get some kind of open beta or something that we can use, okay? Because guess what? People are not going to keep buying all of these ships when there's still no use for them. We have to have something to use them for. And yes, you can put them in score and you can earn some Atlas, but that's not a use. Come on, guys. I wanted to cover that, okay, because that is a really significant announcement. A lot of people have, like, let's even read this. It's too late. You guys should have to do it early. There are tons of ship sales on the marketplace, and no one is buying it. So disappointed. People are shocked about it. Makes me wonder what's changed. No one's buying the new ships. You finally made it. Make it a bit deflationary. Stop announcing new ships and concentrate full power on development. This one, Whitaker's from Rome. He's from the MetaVerse Nomads. The great podcast kind of interview that they do on MetaVerse as well as Star Atlas. He says, repair the existing economy. Step 1, stop producing new ships. Done. Step 2, marketing campaign to grow the community and create more demand for existing supplies. This is what people are saying. This is the sentiment at the moment. But Star Atlas says they're looking to get 1 million people into Star Atlas, and you'll need a whole bunch of ships for those people to come in and buy and experience. But that's not happening now, right? There's nothing to get 1 million people in. We're lucky. I would be so happy if we had 10,000 or even 50,000 daily active wallets on Scream. Okay, I would be so happy with that. Let's go ahead. I want to cover 2 other things for you because the first thing is actually the Galactic Marketplace. Star Atlas have come out and say they want some feedback on the Galactic Marketplace, so I'm going to leave the link down below. You can also find it in the Discord where you can go yourself and give them your email, your first name, and check what applies to you. Like I'm going to try and do this So you can see, oh no, maybe I don't want to submit it. So they're asking, let's go through it. Check all that applies to you. I'm a new user. I have ships. I own Star Atlas NFTs as the long term. I'm accumulating NFTs to use myself in the future game. I'm accumulating Star Atlas in the hope of renting them to others in the future. They want to see where the people interests are for the community. If you could change one thing about the Galactic Marketplace, what would it be? So what would you guys actually change about the Galactic Marketplace? Remember, this is the second Galactic Marketplace we've had. Oh, the first initial release. The one previously was a bit worse. This one's better, only slightly. It doesn't actually feel like a game marketplace to me. It needs to be a whole trading interface, a trading post, that sort of thing. That's what I imagine it to be anyway. So what would you change? You tell me. I want to actually know. You guys all watch my Star Atlas videos for the content here. What do you want the marketplace to change? One thing, only one thing. Just leave that one word comment. And would you like to participate in a short session with a Star Atlas team member to share more detailed feedback about how you can improve the Galactic Marketplace? So they're looking for feedback from the community, right? And then this also leads into my last point, which is still community from feedback. These are the Atlas Brew, okay? The Atlas Brew is hosted by Santi, sometimes by other community members like Ashes. They generally talk about things happening in Star Atlas and try to gauge the community's sentiment. This one, there are two brews I want to cover here. The first one is last month, and they were talking about battles, okay? It was all about battles. Now, keep in mind, this is just them trying to get ideas from the community. It's not absolutely guaranteed it's going to make it into the game. If someone from the community has a great idea, the team will be like, oh, let's look at that idea. Maybe it's worth looking into, and then they might implement it. Maybe, if it can work, if it's feasible. Let's just skim some of it, right? How should loot be distributed after a large battle? An idea on how looting should look like. The loot after the game directly correlates to the amount and size of the ships in that battle, which makes sense. There's no point you can't get a capital-sized loot from a small ship, right? Makes no sense. Or like from an extra small ship. So of course, if you have like a capital-sized ship, then maybe you might get a medium-sized loot. Makes sense. After the battle, the winners get 10% of the loot immediately. The other 90% is lootable circle where the battle took place. But for this lootable circle, the looting speed and efficiency depends on the ship. Like if you have a tractor beam, if you have lots of crew, etc. Anyone can loot from the circle in a stance, or like not an aggressive stance, not a defensive stance, maybe like a looting stance or like an idle stance, where you can't do anything while you're looting, which leaves you vulnerable. So as you're looting, and looting should take up some form of time, right? It shouldn't be immediately. It should not be immediately. So I'm hoping though, at the moment, like it'll be maybe like a 2-minute period of time where you're vulnerable. And if you move at all, if you click somewhere else, it resets your timer. Okay. Should looting be fun to gather, like a little mini game? And people are saying yes, it should be. Can loot be distributed after it's collected? It should be. It should be, because you're looting stuff. It won't be account bound. It shouldn't be soul bound, right? It should be for you to sell. So it can be redistributed. In the sense that if it's redistributed to people in your party, you can just drop the item and then they can go and pick it up. That's easy, right? Does looting expire? Stabilize the area around you, then loot doesn't expire. I think people are saying that it drags away, which is, I think, is a great mechanic. It should only be a small pace. Like, for example, you have a sun in the middle of the solar system, right? And then someone gets killed on the side. And then over a prolonged period of time, hours to days, right? The sun has gravity and it slowly pulls all the small loot towards it. So you can see the loot drifting. I don't know if you can do this on chain because they died in a specific coordination or a specific location, but if it drags towards the sun, it can destroy that loot, which gives us great deflationary mechanics, right? But you can see how people will become actual loot hunters and they go out scouring for this, right? They're going to create a whole economy out of this. Say, where was the last battle? Let's go and scavenge this. And that's where the scavengers come into, right? Stances with different risk and reward. Of course, there'll be high risk, high reward, medium risk, medium reward, low risk, low reward. How do you feel about your ship getting better as you level up? No, right? People are saying crew should level up, not the ships. We already expected our crew to level up, not the ships, because you can sell the ships easily. It's the crew that are valuable, right? The ships are just pieces of metal, right? Or in the cheese case, liquid, I don't know. Leveling ships, people are like, no, you should not be able to level up your ships. So these are ideas that the community themselves are bringing out, okay? So let's look at the last one, and I'll make this quick because I don't want to make this a long video. It's already 10 minutes. How do three-way battles work? In the battle, should it be possible to attack a person who just got out of battle? There should be a cooldown, perhaps. I think there should be, okay? Community doesn't want a cooldown. It removes a lot of the skill to take to plan a battle and what comes after. When going into battle, they think you should have this in mind and have backup around you. Makes sense. You don't want to have like a protective 1 minute sphere around you where no one can attack you and then you can take advantage of that and fully escape. That's not how reality works. You go to a battle and you've got half health and like you're missing an engine, and then someone comes in and sees that you're crippled, they're going to take you out, okay? It's your job to be a good player, to not get crippled and to not have a blown engine. If you don't think you can achieve your objectives without getting a blown engine, then don't go and achieve it, okay? Or at least have backup on the side. In a three-way battle, should you be able to attack only one or the other two or both? Vast majority of community says both. I honestly think in the moment, it should just be like a deadlock, and then your firepower score slowly dwindles and dwindles and dwindles until one of you beats the other, okay? That's what I think anyway. How should a formula for LP earnings be? Based on damage dealt and damage received? Damage dealt and damage received are good metrics to show contribution to the fight. Medic tasks and other broad tasks should also earn LP. Of course, you have the support fleets, the freights. They can't really participate in this. So if you have a medic that's like helping people bring up their HP, bring up their ship score health, or whatever they're gonna implement it as, then that should also be counted to earning LP. If you only incentivize fighting and repairing, then it won't reward any other valuable behaviors, such as like defending or sitting on the planet, etc. Can people abuse this? Absolutely. People will abuse everything. When this is on-chain and they have a way to make money, people will abuse it. Just plain and simple. Should screen players be gifted LP for them to tip others? Vast majority don't like it. It's too abusable. You shouldn't be able to tip LP, I think. LP should be you. You earned it. It's for your account only. This is what I think, okay? Once people start LP tipping, you'll have influencers who'll be like, you tip me LP and I'm going to do this for you, or like, I'm going to make this, and no. I think it's very fine line. LP should be, and LP, we designed it to be account bound, right? I don't think it should be tipped. You have to earn LP for you to improve your game circumstances. And LP should be player votes? No. Should be game mechanics integrated? Yes. So LP seems like people really, really, really want it to be part of the core gameplay mechanics. Okay, I feel like I've talked a lot. It's been 13 minutes so far. I apologize. I wanted it to be a short video. Make sure you check out my last video from Matt. He's a great community member. He always posts on my videos, and he engaged very well with me. So he's just a community member I wanted to be involved with. And if you want to come on as well, have a chat to me, talk about Star Atlas material, I'm super happy to do that. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. This has been MetaVerse Explorer. Try and keep you updated on Star Atlas. Ciao for now.